Hey friends, today is a huge day. My new book, The Happiness Habits Transformation second edition, is officially out today. I'm so excited to share it with you. I never really expected to be in this position with a second published book, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity. But first, let me explain a bit of background for those who are new here. My name is Michelle Reeves. I ran my own life and mindset coaching practice for over 6 years, and I was the director of the This Is My Era Personal Development Academy in the US. And I'm now full-time author and podcaster and mum of two, and I'm passionate about sharing my journey to help others create a routine that makes them happier every single day. But that wasn't always true. Back in 2009, I was in a much darker place, battling postnatal depression and struggling to get through each day. I felt lost, I felt overwhelmed, and I couldn't really see a way back to the confident corporate woman I'd been just months before. I know it's a story that resonated with a lot of readers for the first edition of the book. That was published in 2019, and perhaps it resonates with you too. Because here's the thing. So often our routine is based on what everyone else needs. Our work, our family life, they fill our days up to the brim, and we just squeeze in what we can for ourselves in between, right? And if we're honest, at least for myself, sometimes we might realise we've lost ourselves a little bit along the way. But I honestly believe if we don't build time for ourselves into our daily routine, we'll end up trying to fill all the roles we play in our lives from an empty cup. So we keep going back to dig deeper and deeper until there's nothing left. And that's where I found myself back in Shanghai in China. And while therapy definitely brought me back to functioning, I needed more structure and space and grace to truly discover the old me again. So that's what I set out to build for myself over 10 years ago, a simple daily routine of what I call my happiness habits, and they help me find that space. So in the book, I walk you through each of those habits, so you'll learn about thought awareness and why our thoughts matter way more than we think they do, why we need to be inspired every day, 2 terrific tools to boost your positivity in minutes. One of those was taught to me by my daughter actually. Harnessing the powers of gratitude and clarity about what really matters most in our lives. Celebrating every day with what I call my daily success party plan. And most importantly, bringing it all together using habit strategy to ensure they become habits and not just another resolution that we're ultimately going to ditch. So when the Happiness Habits Transformation was first published, I focused on sharing my personal story, how I discovered and used the 8 habits, plus the fascinating research studies which underpinned each one. But I never really realised just how important those habits would be for me right now. Back then I had no idea that a bucket load of things would hit me simultaneously 3 years later. So fast forward to 2021, and me, along with everyone else actually, was reeling from the COVID pandemic. I was homeschooling 2 kids, working 2 businesses, dealing with my mother's stroke from a distance because I couldn't leave the house, and other behind the scenes family issues. And, rather unhelpfully, becoming perimenopausal at the same time. So suddenly I was right back where I'd been all those years before, stuck in the weeds of my mind. The physical, mental and emotional symptoms I experienced left me lost and overwhelmed all over again. I had no idea what was happening to me, and as a coach, I also felt like a fraud for not being able to cope. But I knew I couldn't be the only one who was struggling. I decided to go ahead and write a brand new chapter for this edition, bringing my story right up to date and sharing how I eventually rediscovered myself for a second time, how I doubled down on my health, realigned my priorities, and what I kept, what I changed, what I left behind, including why I ultimately made the decision to close my business. And importantly, I wanted to share how my happiness habits continue to ground and support me, and how I've adapted them to serve me even better in this new life stage. It's always been really important to me that strong research underpins each area of the book, so I'm also incredibly grateful to have the wisdom and expertise of menopause specialist Dr. Shashi Prasad and Lauren Chirin, who contributed to the new chapter too. So I hope that by sharing in this new edition how I've adapted the happiness habits that continue to support me through my perimenopause, it helps other women who might be in the same place Let's be honest, we're navigating shifting priorities and challenging changes that happen in our bodies as well as our minds as we enter this new stage of our lives. So, what else should you look out for in this new edition of the book? Well, as well as the new chapter with lots of information and tips, it was really important to me to include stories of other people who've woven the habits into their own routines in their own way, and how each habit has affected their lives. So each chapter now has real life case studies from some amazing people who have adapted one or more of the routines themselves. It was so inspiring to hear how they've used the happiness habits to transform their lives, and I can't wait to share all of those stories with you. So sharing my journey and how I built a bridge back to me, not once but twice, honestly, it's such a privilege. What I've learnt over the course of the last 4 years is that life will continue to challenge us. But my hope is that with this new edition, you'll have the tools you need to create your own happiness habits transformation, whatever stage of life you're in. A simple daily routine to help you cope through the tough times, release you from the habit of negativity, boost your self-esteem, and help you finally plan out and achieve your biggest and most exciting goals. So the Happiness Habits Transformation 2nd edition is out today, and I'll pop all the links down below in the description under this video. And just to say that if you do read it, it would mean so much if you could take just a moment to leave a review on Amazon or Goodreads. It will really help others to find it, and it would mean so much to me, honestly. If you have any comments or any questions, just pop them below or send me a DM on Instagram. I always like to reply. So thanks so much for watching. In the meantime, until next time, bye for now.